So this lesson, a lot of it is talking about the parts of a circle, which we kind of already know about. Couple new tricks.
Mr. Jordan,
Yeah.
what do you want us to do when we're done?
I was so good at this last week. It's close enough. Yeah, I guess. And we can grab it.
The red pen.
Dead time of video. Okay. Goodness, what was I doing? Okay. What's this called? Radius. What's this called? I missed. Diameter. Alright. What's this called? Chord. A diameter is a type of chord. Chord goes from one point in the circle to another, but diameter is a chord that goes through the center. What's this called from here to here? Arc. Chord. Radius. Diameter. Okay.
Alright.
Close.
Yeah.
So close.
So it's times.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Now, how was I so good this last week and I can't reproduce it now? You have to settle. Okay, if you have a chord and a radius that is perpendicular to the chord, guess what happens? The chord gets bisected. Or you could say the converse. If the chord is bisected by a radius, then it's going to be perpendicular. So, and then if I draw a radius in right there, it makes a 90-degree triangle, and we can find the length of different things. Also, if two chords in the same circle, whoops, are the same length. Guess what I can say about these two chords? If they're the same length, and this one is not the same length, but these two are. Well, that's what same length means. If they're the same length, so notice as you get closer to the center what happens to the chord. This chord's little, bigger. This one's really close to the center, it's bigger. The closer you get to the center of the circle, the bigger the chord gets. So if two chords are the same length, then they are the same distance from the center. So, or you could say it backwards. If two chords are the same distance from the center of the circle, then they are the same length. All right. And that was pretty much everything. So that, again, it's kind of been a gap, so I'll say it again. If a radius is perpendicular to a chord, makes an 90-degree angle, then it's going to split the chord in half. Okay, or you could say it backwards. If a chord is split in half by the radius, then they're perpendicular. If two chords are the same length, they have to be the same distance from the center of the circle. Okay, if I made this chord longer, it would have to get closer and closer to the center. Okay, so as they get bigger and bigger, so if they're the same distance from the center, they're the same length. Okay, so how do you measure distance from the center, by the way? You just draw a perpendicular line, kind of like the radius we were talking about, and whatever that length is, that's the distance from the center. Okay, all right. Number 1. Name the circle. Okay, I don't think I mentioned this. The circle is named by its center. So what's the center of circle P? Well, it's kind of in the directions. There is a circle center, or a circle symbol. It just looks like a circle with a dot in it. So that's circle P. What is the center of the circle? Just P. And what is the circle's diameter? AF. How should I label that? Is it a line? Is it a ray? Or is it a line segment? Really don't know. Lines and rays go forever, so it's line segments. So we should call it segment F. Okay. Name 3 radii. Natalie, can you give me a radius in the circle? Radii is plural for radius. NP. How should I label it? The line segment symbol. Okay. Keziah, do you see another radius in the circle? FP. So half the the diameter, right? FP, and then what's the third one? Sure. AP. So it goes from the center to the edge of the circle. Number 5. Write an algebraic expression for each length in circle O. How long would AC have to be? Okay. I think I should draw a picture for these. Take me a while. Yeah, that's better. Getting better. If they put a Y there and an X here. Q and A, B, C, D. All right, number 5. How long is AC? Well, okay, the radius is perpendicular to the chord. What do we know about the chord then? It's split in half. So if this is Y from here to here, how long is this going to be? 2Y, yes, twice as long. Y plus Y, 2Y. Okay, number 7. How long is OE? Okay, yeah, that's a little bit of a trick here. Oh, it says OE. Oh, I thought the center was a Q. It's just an O. O is not the best letter to use because it looks like a 0. Well, OE is a radius, right? Okay, this is kind of an important trick. There's another radius that's drawn in the circle. Do you guys see it? OA. And there's also an OB, but we kind of need the OA one. Any ideas how we could find the length of that OA? Let's do lots. Any ideas how we can find the length of OA? To O. Okay. So this right here is a radius. See this little triangle right here? It's a what? A right triangle. What do we know about right triangles? No, it's not 60, 30, 90. Nope. What else do we know about right triangles? How do we find the missing length of the side of a right triangle? Pythagorean theorem. So we have an X and a Y. So how do I do it? You got X squared plus Y squared equals C squared. How do I solve this for C? Square root. So that's the length of AO, which is a radius. So OE has to be the same length as that. Okay, so that is the answer. That one's kind of an important one because we're going to be using that like Pythagorean theorem later with that. So if you ever need to find the radius, you have to do Pythagorean theorem with the whatever X and Y numbers are. Number 9. BD. This one's is probably the trickiest one. Get that up there. Alright, BD just goes from here to here. Anybody have a bright idea on that one? Probably not. Well, BD is a portion of this radius right here, right? We just found the radius. How much longer is the radius than BD? X from here to here. So the radius, which we just found, this thing, minus X would give us how long this thing is. So it's that minus X.
Question. On 25, you don't get like the, I don't know how to do it.
Well, draw the height in and see if you can figure it out. It's the best I can give you. I can't tell you. Unless you're done. Yeah, split the box. Alright. Number 11. You guys might like these better because they're actually numbers instead of X's and Y's. And some of them are kind of easy also. Okay, 11. Says BE is 18. Ugh. Really don't want to draw all that again. Isaac, favorite starting guy. If BE is 18, how long would BC have to be? It would be 9, yes. That thing just gets split in half. 18 divided by 2, 9. Okay, 13. Guess we'll go now on next. Or Cadence hadn't done one. 13, we'll go clockwise. Find AG. Okay,
Thank you.
FI is 16. BE is 16. So if FI and BE are 16, do you guys know what we know? They're the same distance from the center. That's the trick we learned. So we know that AG and AC have to be the same length. So it says AC is 6. So Cadence, how long is AG? 6. If the chords are the same length, IF and EB are the same length, then their distance from the center is the same, 6. 15, I guess we'll go Keziah. So it says, we're finding AI. AC and AG are congruent. Keziah, do you know what that means if AC and AG are congruent? If it means they're the same length, same distance from the center, the chords are. So the chords are the same length again. All right, anyway, BE is 10 and AC is 4. I feel like I need to draw this. It's the bottom of the list. Circle's too tall. Tired. Okay, so if BE is 10, how long would CE have to be? 5. That's not a good drawing, gosh. Let me see if I can fix this a little bit. That's better. Okay, right, and what else did it tell us? AC is 4. And the question was, find AI. Okay, AI makes me think of artificial intelligence. It's all the way up here. Okay, AI is a what of the circle? Radius. Goes from the center to the edge. We kind of talked about this already. Where is a radius that I could actually find? AE, right? Because I have this as 4 and 5. Now, since these chords are the same distance, same length, I could have just put a 4 and a 5 here. That's 4, that's 10, that's 10, this is 5. Anyways, because how could I find X? How could I find the radius? Okay, how would it set up?
5 squared plus 4 squared.
Yeah. Yep, the radius makes a little right triangle. So 5 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared. So 25 plus 16 is 41. Then what do? You think the book put square root of 41 or the decimal? Nope, they put square root of 41. Good kid. Alright, square root of 41 does not simplify, it's prime. They did not put the decimal on any of these, so let's try and put the square root answer. 17 says find HF if GH is 6 and IG is 12. Let me go back to the picture. Okay, GH is 6, check, and IG is 12. Well, it tells us to find HF, which is like right here. Well, if this is 12, how long is this? 12. So we got 90s here. So Natalie, how can I set up for this one? Yeah. So tell me what to. Yes. Let's see, I believe that would be 180. Do you guys think the square root of 180 simplifies? Yeah, it definitely does. So it's like it's got a double 3 and a double 2. So that means 3 times 2 comes out 6, and then 5 is left behind. So it's 6 squared 5. Okay, number 19. FI, AI is 8, AG is 6. We'll get all these old numbers out of here so we can put in the new ones. Okay, so it says AI is 8. That goes right there. And AG is 6. Goes right there. And what they wanted us to find was FI, this thing. So how can I use these two numbers to help me find the whole line? Jarrett, any ideas? I know you kind of missed the beginning, but. Well, I can find this, right? Because it's on a right triangle here. Alright, once I find X, what do I do with that? Okay, so one thing you missed here is the radius is perpendicular if it's to the chord, makes 90 degrees, then it splits the chord in half. So this is X, this is X. So I can just double the length of X. Then Jarrett, how would I set up for X on this one?
6 squared, 8 squared minus 6 squared.
Alright, you can do 6 squared, or X squared plus 6 squared equals 8 squared. Or you could do 8 squared minus 6 squared equals X squared. They both work. What is that, 28?
Yeah.
And square root of 28 is 4 times 7, so it's 2 square root of 7. Oh, I forgot. What did I do? What did I forget? Yeah. So this is, we just found this right here. So we need the whole thing, so we have to double it. So what's that times 2? 4 square root of 7. Yeah, it's 4 times square root of 7. Do not put in the calculator only decimals on these. Okay, 21. Kind of the same deal. Find y. Where's y at? Oh, it's in the algebraic equation. So it says CE equals GI equals. So what do we know about? Okay, if you look over under those two circles, very sneakily, it writes AD equals JH, which, what does that tell us? They have the same radius, and if two circles have the same radius, guess what? They're the same length. Okay, so those two circles are congruent, they're identical. Anyway, so 21, CE equals and GI equals. So how do you guys think CE and JI are related to each other? No, they're not radiuses, they're half the chord. CE is half the chord, GI is half the chord. So they should just be the same length. Yeah, they're just equal to each other. Yeah, they're not trying to make it too tricky. Sometimes they might give you like half the chord and the whole chord, but yeah, they're both half the chord, so they're equal to each other. So it's just 3y plus 5 equals 8. Pretty basic. No, I don't think so. They're not quite that easy. So, you know, do a little bit of algebra there and solve for y. I bet 23 is going to be trickier. '23 says find AD. AD is a what?
Anthony,
AD is a what? Radius. So basically if we find a radius of either circle, that'll be the right answer. Does that make sense? Because the circles are the same. So if we find a radius on either circle, we've got our answer. Okay, it says BE is blah 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 and FI is blah blah blah. How are BE and FI related to each other? They're the same, so they're equal. It says AC and JG are X. We'll need that for later. But we can figure out what X is because BE and FI are the same, right? So those are equal to each other. So 4x minus 8 equals 2x plus 8.
Mr. Jordan,
What?
how do you find, like, this, find the perimeter, you do like, you multiply by themselves, right? You multiply the sides.
Well, I'll say that's part of the test, I guess.
What?
You're still taking the test, aren't you?
Yeah. I had one problem once, and I've been on it for like 15 minutes. I'm about to just take the wrong answer.
That's what I did.
Okay.
My pencil broke. It's erasing so much.
Let's see. What do we do in algebra when we have x's on both sides? Subtract off one side. Okay, I got x is 8. Is that the answer?
That's what I got.
Well,
But
that's not the answer. That's just something we need. Probably should draw one of these little bad boys. It told us that AC is equal to x. So if x is 8, that means this thing right here is 8. And also, if I plug in 8 into the equation for BE, 4 times 8 minus 8, this whole chord is 24 long. So if this is 24 long, like all the way across, how long is it from here to here? 12. Now, do you guys remember what we were looking for? The radius. So how are we going to do it? 8 squared plus 12 squared equals radius squared. Same trick as before. A little more work to get there. 64 plus 144 is 208. I bet 208 has a simplified square root. 23.
How do you do it? How did you do it now? Tell me.
No.
What? I'm done.
Oh, you mean the problem?
Yeah.
It's the triangle on the back.
The equilateral. You did
The
A
way
equals
it's
1/2 of along the perimeter?
The way I did it on probably the easiest way. How long were the side? Oh, it was
4.
wait. I don't think he's done.
Oh.
Kyle's
Alright,
not
we'll just
done.
say there were 2.
No, still can't do it. We'll wait till Kyle's done. Okay, anyway, we got 2 double 2, so 2 times 2 comes out, so it's 4 squared 13.
Need a pencil now.
What have you been using?
Mine broke. Can I borrow a pencil? Here.
All right. Why don't you guys
I'm kind of using that, but
read? I'm going to give you like 2 minutes. Read number 34 and see if you can draw an appropriate picture and label. Okay, so kind of one of the key ideas, I know it's kind of confusing because you don't know what a shaft and flywheel and all that stuff. Flywheel is just a circle. The shaft, they said, sits in the center of the circle. So, and it's 2 feet above the ground. So this is like the ground level, and the shaft is like the center, so it's 2 feet above the ground. And the question is, how deep do we need to bury, do we need to dig so the wheel goes underground, basically? How deep underground does it go? So the picture looks kind of like this. Let's see. Okay, if the diameter is 8 feet, how long is this part? Just the radius, I mean. Okay, and this is a radius too, right? So that's 4 feet. So how long must X be? 2 feet. Is that the only question? Oh no, there's another one. How deep below the ground and how long would the trench need to be? Okay. So the trench is like from here to here, basically. This would be the trench. So they're asking like how long this thing is, the core is right here.
Isn't it the 8?
No. Why isn't it 8?
It's smaller than.
Yeah, it's smaller than 8 because it's a core. That diameter is 8.
Oh.
Let's see. So the radius is 4. So if I draw a radius in right there, that would be 4. So any ideas how we could find that?
2 squared plus 4 squared?
No. 4 squared minus 2 squared. 4 is the.
What?
Okay. So that's why. What do I need to do to that? Okay, square root of 12 is 2 squared of 3. What do I need to do to that? Okay, we need the whole trench, so we need to double that.
Times 2?
Times 2. 4 squared of 3. They did say round this to the nearest unit. So in other words, like turn it into a decimal and round it off. So you guys can do that.